Howdy there, folks. Mike, aka mykeadelic here. Welcome to the mykeadelic channel. Thanks for tuning in. Got a quick little double review. Is this way too close? Should I hold this farther away? I don't know. Whatever. Quick little quadruple review for you. I'm just going to talk about a couple movies I've seen recently because I have been lacking on my movie review game. And I want to talk about the ones I've seen before it's too late. So, real quick, the first one I'm going to talk about is the movie that has been sweeping the nation, or sweeping certain headlines, Cocaine Bear. How can it not with a name like that? Interesting film. Sounds a little more interesting than maybe it is, unfortunately. I don't know if I'd go that far. It's certainly enjoyable. If you want to watch a movie called Cocaine Bear, it is exactly a movie called Cocaine Bear. My only real critique is that it kind of takes itself too seriously. It should just be totally off the wall, double down on the bear. The ambulance scene was like amazing. Like that ambulance scene, without spoiling anything, it shows you how effective this cocaine bear can be without really needing to know these characters before the scene begins. So it could have had a higher body count, I think, but still enjoyable nonetheless. And if the title has piqued your interest, I suggest you see it for yourself and form your own opinion. Next movie I'm going to talk about is a Amazon Prime original. It's called Somebody I Used to Know. This is directed by Dave Franco. It's got Alison Brie, and it was written by Alison Brie and Dave Franco. Sorry, I keep doing the Ted from Scrubs. It's just comfortable right now. I've been a big fan of Alison Brie since Community and Mad Men, and then I was rewatching Scream, but watching the ones I haven't seen, and Alison Brie was in number 4, I think. So I was like, hey, she's everywhere. But yeah, I really liked Horse Girl. I talked about it on like Letterboxd, but yeah, I really liked Horse Girl. That was weird. That was directed by, I think, the dude who's married to Aubrey Plaza, who also directed Spin Me Round, which was fine. But I think tier-wise, Horse Girl is still my favorite because it's like the weirdest. But I like Somebody I Used to Know, I think, better than Spin Me Round. Spin Me Round's kind of, I love Aubrey Plaza, and that's like kind of a weird tone. That's a fun enough movie. It's comedies for some reason these days. It's like, I feel like they really got to be like an hour and a half or something. But Somebody I Used to Know didn't feel too long, and I really liked it because I'm unafraid to admit that I do enjoy a romantic comedy. When Harry Met Sally is a classic, you know? There's plenty of good ones out there. A good film is a good film. It doesn't really matter the genre. If it's good, I probably will like it. And Somebody I Used to Know, I thought was good. It kind of hit the marks you need to hit for this rom-com. But what I really liked about it was how it kind of, I mean, and this is like the classic thing. It's like, oh, it's like a Hallmark movie, but make it realistic or whatever. But the idea of kind of like what would really happen if you were like living a rom-com plot kind of thing, and what that really says about the character and stuff, I thought the way they handled that, and specifically the conclusion and the inclusion of naturalism or nudity as a kind of philosophy, was actually really well implemented. And that kind of ties into Alison Brie's real life college experience and stuff, because she went to this college where it was like super artsy, and people were like, nudity was like, I don't know about encouraged, but like permitted at least. And so this kind of theme of accepting yourself for who you are and that kind of stuff I really appreciated. So yeah, it was an interesting ride. And Dave Franco's style, I kind of like half watched The Rental. I maybe should like revisit it to really get a proper critique, but I feel like his next movie will kind of start to really define his style. But so far, just like something like When Harry Met Sally or even Misery, I'm thinking of Rob Reiner, someone who's kind of like a comedic kind of actor dude, has good timing, and has made some really solid movies. Or like Ron Howard or someone like that, where it's like, they're just solid. They don't have to be a Ron Howard movie or a Rob Reiner movie, like the way a Quentin Tarantino movie is a Quentin Tarantino movie. It's kind of less egotistical than that. And the fact that Dave Franco is behind the camera and co-writing this with Alison Brie, and Alison Brie's kind of like voice, I feel like, is so present. I really appreciate that kind of like egoless filmmaking. Is it the most remarkably stylish film or anything? No. But did it capture vibes and feelings? And specifically, as a Community fan, seeing Danny Pudi and Annie and Alison Brie together again, Abed and Annie was just, since I'm literally getting goosebumps thinking about it. I'm not even joking. It's like, if you were, I was like a big Community fan back in high school when it was like coming out. Yeah, so seeing them together again and their chemistry was just, it made the whole thing worth watching for me. And I heard there was another scene with them that they had to cut for timing, which I appreciate because the pacing did not drag. But I would like to see that scene. Those are 2 films I've seen recently. I'll hit you with one more. I also watched We Have a Ghost, I think it's called, the one with David Harbour and Anthony Mackie. I don't have a lot to say about it. I heard about it because of Haunted Hippie's channel. If you haven't heard of Haunted Hippie, Kylie makes some of the best like horror kind of content here, or just movie content in general on YouTube, with a great balance of kind of like really well researched content that's also still like really funny and casual. So A1, check out her channel if you haven't already. And she on Patreon also talked about Cocaine Bear and this We Have a Ghost in a little more in depth. Yeah, her Scream series is great. I'm just going on a whole tangent. Anyways, We Have a Ghost. I watched it, even though I saw Kylie only gave it a 1.5 stars. So I was like, maybe I shouldn't watch this. But, you know, everybody's got their own opinions. And so I like David Harbour. I like Jennifer Coolidge. I like Anthony Mackie. This kid's playing guitar. I'm like, I like guitar. I play guitar. He's like talking about Terry Kath. I'm like, that's true. Jimi Hendrix did fuck with Terry Kath. And so I was like enjoying it to a certain extent, but really it just felt like it should have been animated, or it felt like a stretched out episode of like Rick and Morty or something, where the tone was, in something like Rick and Morty, they can, or Everything Everywhere All at Once, it's like you can pull off these wildly shifting tones because it's so perfectly executed. But in this, it just felt like there was a lot of fat to trim, and this tremendous cast was like misused. I wonder how much of it is like a Netflix thing, because the filmmaker who did, I think, Freaky and Happy Death Day is like capable of making very good, fun movies. So I was a bit let down by We Have a Ghost, because David Harbour is like silent the whole time, which I appreciate, because I feel like I understand that as an actor, he's probably trying to like challenge himself to like emote without words and stuff. But it's like, for 2+ hours or whatever, it's like a good 1.5 hours, get me in and out. Almost any movie, leave them wanting more, right? Why does it have to be so long? So yeah, that movie you might want to pass on, unless you're like in love with the cast or in love with the concept or something. The kid was good. I like the kid. I don't have the actor's name in front of me, but I like the guitar kid. He was nice. I liked how he was like sensitive and like just like a nice kid. Like it was like some friendship vibes, you know, nice and wholesome. It just didn't hit for me. I don't know. There's another what did I see recently? There was another movie. I'm making this a quadruple review, I guess. Another movie I saw recently. There was an interview. He was talking with the director of Skinamarink. What the fuck is the name of that movie? Well, whatever the name of that movie is, I'll have it in the description or the title. But that movie, it's like a found footage movie. That one and this David Harbour one, and even Cocaine Bear, I feel like could have used a good edit, like another pass, and they would have bumped up at least a star rating for me. Like all 3 of those. Just tighten them up. Cocaine Bear was already pretty short though. It was like, I think, 1.5 hours. But I mean, if you cut out 10-20 minutes of some of that character stuff and just made it snap, it might rip. Cut your films. Please, editors. I don't know if it's like an algorithm thing for streaming services or whatever, wanting longer films, but a short film bangs. Like, I'll watch it twice. I'll watch a bad long film once, or I'll shut it off or watch it and fast forward. It's not gonna get you more watch time. So yeah, that's my conclusion. My top of this batch is probably somebody I used to know. So shout outs to Alison Brie and Dave Franco. I would not expect a rom-com to top my list, but that's definitely the one I would recommend the strongest. And that's on Amazon. So fairly accessible. And then I would say Cocaine Bear. Go support your local cinema, support Elizabeth Banks, and R.I.P. Ray Liotta. Genuinely R.I.P. Ray Liotta, but in a movie like Cocaine Bear, to have it end and then say like, in loving memory of Ray Liotta, it's like tonally, I'm at a certain point, I'm like, they're gonna have it in memory. And this is like, not that you shouldn't dedicate it, but it's like, it's just kind of like absurd. The idea of Cocaine Bear being like a genuine dedication. But that's why we love the insane art form that is cinema. So thanks for tuning in to the Mykeadelic channel. I've been Mike, aka Mykeadelic. That's my quick little quadruple review. If you haven't seen Community, check out Community, one of my favorite TV shows of all time. It's got Allison Brie, Danny Pudi, Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, Joel McHale from The Soup. He's great in it. Chevy Chase, the legend, had some terrible onset experiences, or caused some terrible onset experiences apparently for some cast members, but his inclusion in the show was hilarious nonetheless. Streets ahead, one might say. And who else? Oh, Yvette Nicole Brown, of course, who we all know and love from Drake and Josh. And Gillian Jacobs, of course, who is just killing it. Oh, she's got, what is it? 7 Lives of Jane, something like that, coming out soon, which I'm hype on too. And of course, Atlanta. Community cast, basically, that's a great life hack. I'll leave you with this gem. If you haven't seen Community, watch Community, then look up the actors and look at what they've been in, because it's banger central. It's like an insanely talented group of people who all have great taste and distinct taste. So Gillian Jacobs will pick some cool, weird movies that you maybe would see Allison Brie in, but maybe wouldn't see Allison Brie in. And Allison Brie will write some cool, crazy movies that Gillian Jacobs wouldn't write. There's overlaps, but they're distinct. Donald Glover, what can I even say? Yeah, Community, A1, great show. So ending it on a little wreck. I think it's on Netflix or something. It was on during COVID or whatever. First 3 seasons specifically, then Dan Harmon left as showrunner, and then he came back for season 5 and 6, but season 5 and 6 don't have Donald Glover, so. But still worth watching. You gotta have the whole thing. There's some chemo. Keith David is in season 6, and he has some really great moments. Yeah. Okay. That's all for now. Mykeadelic signing off. Thanks for tuning in. Those are my quick little recs and reviews. Happy Tuesday or Wednesday, I guess, is when this is coming out, or whatever day of the week you're watching this in the future. Alrighty then. Catch you on the flip-flop. See you next week. That's someone else. I'm just gonna use other people's outros. No, I have an outro, right? It's like this. Thanks for watching the Mykeadelic channel. I've been Mike, aka Mykeadelic. Please like, comment, subscribe. New videos tri-weekly. And I got tunes and reviews and short films and plenty of cool creative stuff coming this year, so stay tuned. Okay, take it easy. Don't forget to fuck with your clocks or whatever in a week or 2. Okay, bye.